When you hear me make that statement that failure doesn't exist, that it's just an experience, I say it with all my heart, with all full commitment of it. So I'm not one of those that wait for the future to come my door. I create the future and I walk into it. I don't wait for the future. I create it. When you hear me make that statement that failure doesn't exist, that it's just an experience, I say it with all my heart, with all full commitment of it. So I've never gone into any transactions or any interactions and I think of possibility of a failure. I always go as a winner. Even when I don't get what I was targeting to get, I will look at it from the positive side. And I've learned to say in this world, it could have been worse. If you lose one hand, it could have been worse if you lose the two. If you lose one eye, it could have been worse if the two is gone. If you lose one leg, it could have been worse if the two is gone. But once you learn how to say it could have been worse. And when I say failure doesn't exist, it's an experience. And I've always used that experience to negotiate the tomorrow that I am not sure of. I'll give you a typical example. I can be chasing a deal, a transactions, and you put in 6 months into it and done everything you could do. Remember, you're not the only one chasing it, so don't always get bitter when you don't get it. Don't get bitter when you don't get it. Everything cannot be successful for you at every time. In my little principles, at every point in time, I have minimum of a dozen transactions chasing on. If 2 goes through, it pays for the other 10 that doesn't go through. So you live your life and you continue to live your life. And you must also learn how to be contented. Because if only you keep getting it, do you think there will be peace around you? There will be no peace around you. Those in your industry will hate you. They will find a way to. So that's why the build up to the failure doesn't exist. Some of the transactions you tend to assume you lost. You used it to build protections against the sector you operate. Because if only you keep winning, you can't deal with the hatred. You can't deal with the anemic actions. They will befall you and you just collapse, and clearly. So from my own point, a typical example, I'm chasing the transactions, and at the end of the day, you hear, oh, you're not a preferred person, there's a preferred person. Oh, who's that preferred person? And I'll look at it. Okay, that's good. Okay, what is your plan? What are you going to do next? After this, you're still going to do more transactions. Since I didn't get this, the assurance that the next one belongs to me. Let's discuss about it. And I'll tell you that. And I will first find fault what you did that made that person became the preferred winner of it. I will point out those faults, and I'll tell you I will fight you about it. But can we discuss the next transaction and let you assure me that it's my own transaction, since I didn't get this one? So sometimes you look at it like you're blackmailing the person, but you're in a negotiation table. You want to negotiate your future. I'm not one of those that wait for the future to come my door. I create the future and I walk into it. I don't wait for the future. I create it. I create it. And the creation of my future is always 5 years or 10 years gap. I would say in 5 years, this is the target. In the next 5 years or the next 10 years, this is the target. And you know what? There's no 5 years I've created that I've never exceeded it. So that makes me feel that failure doesn't exist. It's just always an opportunity and experience that you have. It's just some people doesn't know how to renegotiate that relationship. Let me give you a typical example. There was one that we had so that you'll be able to connect it proper. It was an advisory services, and somehow somebody bidded and won the transaction. We came second. He was the preferred bidder, we were the reserve bidder. And I looked at the company that emerged as the preferred bidder. I immediately asked my team, please commence a search about this company, including CACs and everything. And immediately we gathered everything they had. And I approached the CEO of the company. I said, you know you don't have capacity to do this job because we have facts before you. And I approached the people that presided over that. This person don't have the capacity. And the person said, we agree, we don't have. But can you do it for us? I said, thank you. Now we are doing. But you would have walked away that you lost. You would have walked away. You just have to. You just have to find a way to create. And till today, this thing I'm telling you about is about maybe 17 years ago. We became friends or we became partners. I realized where they have an advantage. They know how to open door, but they don't know how to remain in that door and execute. So we became friends and we became strategically partners, and life keep moving on. And that is life. So when I make that statement that there's no failure, it's always an experience. That particular one gave me experience that I can convert who I would have tagged as my enemy to a strategic partner, and it works. So it's all about your perception. It's all about the direction you're looking at it, the angle you want to see it, whether the cup is half empty or it is half full. For me, it is always half full. That positivity is what drives it. Thank you very much.